We're gonna do the fewest world records ever. Humans have athletically peaked. So this video is pretty much about like why athletes don't break records anymore, and like pretty much talking about if we've reached the pinnacle of athlete. Which I think is a fucking great topic to discuss, because I myself am an athlete. All right. I used to. Well, I'm a bodybuilder now. I used to play lacrosse in college and in high school, and I used to play football. So I played sports my whole life, and I literally have the NBA Finals on behind me as I'm doing this stream. So that should give you an answer whether or not how big of an athlete or sports fan I am. So for this video, I'm honestly very curious. Fewest world records ever. Humans have athletically peaked. Like, I'm curious what this is really going to be talking about. Summer night in Berlin. Are athletes getting more athletic? Ooh, I would say that's, yeah, okay.
This is where it all began. The original elite athlete was average, at least.
Let's go back in time tonight.
Average body type. And then something extraordinary happened.
Smashing the world record! Unbelievable! He's done it again!
Basketball players got taller. Shot putters got larger. Gymnasts smaller. All these highly specialized body types chasing one goal. The human limit. Like our universe, the
Someone.
ideal
Sorry,
body
back to
type
the
for
video.
different sports accelerated out from this beginning. But unlike our universe, the rate is slowing. Athletes have kind of settled into their body types, a natural artificial selection, so to speak. Even in the NBA, where we saw height skyrocket for decades, it has plateaued recently. In fact, many believe that the 92 Dream Team would beat today's team. Thinking about this over the last few...
Ooh, what do y'all think, chat? Who's winning? 92 USA team with like Magic and MJ and Larry, like literally Patrick Ewing, stacked ass team, or today's USA team with like Curry and fucking LeBron James and like Anthony Edwards, all them.
few weeks
I'm taking 92. for
watching
sure.
the Olympics. I couldn't help but wonder, are athletes still getting more athletic?
That's a valid question, bro. It's a valid question, and I genuinely, like, other than, like, Wembanyama being 7'4" and being able to shoot like Kevin Durant, other than that, I can't say that anyone else has really, like, peaked in terms of athleticness. LeBron James was a pretty peak athletic player. Serena Williams, she's a peak athletic player. Michael Phelps was a peak athletic player. I'm trying to think of some others. There's a lot, but like I don't know if anyone's Myles Garrett. That motherfucker's a peak athlete.
Absolutely electric.
A Berlin summer night in 2009, the most fitting name in sports history, gave us exactly what we craved.
Usain Bolt, he's pretty peak. I mean, you gotta say he's peak. He's fastest man in the world. He's fastest man in the world. I mean, yeah.
Breaking the 100-meter world record, this was a phenomenal feat. But as time has gone on, I believe that this represents something far grander than we could have appreciated at the time.
Yeah.
It's not that it's just a world record. It's how long it stood.
Yeah.
A world record.
Yeah.
Take a look at this real quick.
It's taking a
the
minute.
record for the longest record. All the way at the top is Usain Bolt. And at these Olympics, nobody was seriously close to his record.
Oh, wow.
So what about other events? Are world records just standing longer now? For the men, in the 100, 200, and 400, we have only seen one world record since 2009. And for the women, we haven't seen a single world record in the sprints since the 80s.
Oh my god. Nah, that's insane. You're telling me women in the 80s are dusting chicks nowadays? That's insane. Women, y'all gotta get in your bag, bro. What are you doing? Get faster. You're like...
It's
The
almost as
80s,
if
y'all?
athletes
Come
have
on.
gotten
That's
so
crazy.
fast,
That's crazy.
they're slowing down. At
I
least
thought- was
the
there
rate of
Sha'Carri Richardson? I
progress,
thought she was
were
pretty
the
fast.
peaks of the
I think
80s
that's
and
her
90s just a byproduct of steroid use? What's going on here?
Understand this, let's go back closer to the beginning when the elite athlete was more average. Same city, same event.
Jesse Owens in the
Owens ended up running a 10-3 in Berlin. He set the world record by running a 10-2 earlier that year. But if he had run that this year, he wouldn't have even qualified for the Olympics. In fact, he'd get dusted by teenagers. Closed skills, such as sprinting, provide a nice glimpse into athletic progress. The measurables are very clean, and clearly here, this is a sign that we are getting faster as a species.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Let's
But-
consider a few items that were highlighted by writer David Epstein.
Bolt started out of blocks, specially fabricated carpet designed to propel him forward. Owens started out of holes that he dug with a gardening trowel. Not quite the same thing. Experts suggest that if
Yeah,
he
that's
had
not at all the
blocks,
same thing.
the difference would have been roughly 0.1 to 0.2 seconds. Bolt
Okay.
also ran on a modern-day track, an embossed rubber surface that enhanced his grip with every single stride.
Ooh.
Owens ran on ash, a cinder track, which is ash from burnt wood. That surface stole
What?
far more of his energy, and it's no
What? Yo,
coincidence
Mr.
that if you
Beast,
look
thank
at
you
the
for the
first
follow.
sub-10 in the 100-meter for the men, it was run after
Aye.
they moved away from these cinder tracks. Experts suggest this was another 0.15 to
Thank you for the
0.2
likes. Thank you for the
seconds.
likes, baby. Thank you for the
Bolt
likes.
also had far better shoes and training and development. But even if we don't count that, biomechanical analysis that looked at the speed of Jesse Owens' joints suggests that if they had run under the same circumstances, he wouldn't have been 14 feet behind. He would have been
Ooh.
within one stride.
Damn, so Jesse really is as fast as Usain. He just didn't have all the advantages that Usain had. I'm not gonna lie, that takes a lot of the magic out of what Usain's been doing, okay?
Been a few sprinters who have given us a few examples of this. Sean Crawford famously took on
crazy.
a zebra on dirt, running
Damn.
a 10.89 on Man vs. Beast, far below what he usually ran. Canadian 2016 bronze
Put the
medalist
zebra on the track,
Andre
though.
DeGrasse ran on a
Shit.
track crafted to be similar to
Then
Owens,
what?
and he ran an 11 flat, 1.1 seconds slower than his 9.9. So,
Dang.
considering an alternate universe where Owens and Bolt were both born in 1986, this race would have been a lot closer.
And you can say the same thing about virtually every running event. The first 4-minute mile, run by Sir Roger Bannister, was on a cinder track as well. And you may have noticed that distance racers have been breaking records left and right. Why? Well, the shoes. And
What?
no, this is not a Nike ad. Kind of wish it was, though. Our boy
Yeah,
Sir
what
Roger
is he
here
going on about?
was not wearing the Nike Alpha Flies.
To get a better understanding of this, I spoke with the globally recognized biomechanist Dr.
followers
Peter
away, baby,
Weyand,
let's get
the
it.
chair of kinesiology at TCU, who specializes in speed.
When the advanced footwear technologies came along, all the records for distance running, the record books have been almost entirely rewritten since 2016, not because the athletes
We're
are
really
better at
talking about why
performance, it's just
athletes
the
don't
shoes
break
are-
records no more.
Once thought impossible is now broken.
It's a form of mechanical doping. Tech
Chat,
improvements
have
causing
athletes
records
peaked?
to fall.
Like, genuinely, what do y'all think? Have athletes peaked, like, truly? You know? I feel like the last, like, freakish, like, specimen of an athlete we've seen was, like, Francis Ngannou at his peak, Zion Williamson at his peak, like, coming out of high school, dude. Zion Williamson was a dog. Like, and those are just, like, recent. And, like, Myles Garrett's literally, like, the fucking Terminator or some shit. Like,
At least on land. What about
oh, Chris Bumstead. That motherfucker is athletic.
In water.
Genetically enhanced. Genetic freak.
In the
Genetically
28
enhanced,
individual
yes,
swimming
and
events
also
that we
genetic
contested
breed.
in Paris, close to half of the top 10 times have been posted in the last 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Why? Well, part of it is technology. Gutters added to the sides of pool to decrease turbulence, and high-speed swimsuits that decreased friction.
I am wearing the fastest suit in the world.
Caused these
What?
guys' times to plummet. But even after all that technology
Oh, wow.
is taken into account, the frequency of world records falling in swimming is significant in comparison to running. So why is there
Significant.
this difference? One simple reason. We've been runners for a long time, and it's been a while since we were swimmers. At least natural full-time swimmers.
At some
What
point,
does
you had the
What does
shift
he mean by that? Roblox girl, thank you for joining.
from
How we
life
doing?
in water
How we doing?
to life on land.
And by the way, I put a lot of time and research into this channel, so if you're
What does he
enjoying
mean by
this,
that?
I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Thanks.
If it isn't painfully clear, this is a very unnatural movement. And running, we've been doing it for a long time, so we've had a lot of time to perfect it. So while technology is a big
Oh.
contributor to development, it's not everything. And for that, we can look to the game
So
that's grown
he's-
more than any over the last century.
He's saying because swimmers aren't like naturally because swimming, I guess, isn't a natural thing for us. It's something that kind of has to be taught. That's part of the reason why people don't break as many records in swimming as much anymore, or why we haven't seen someone, I guess, like a Michael Phelps, for instance, just like come in and dominate, because the gap of learning time has been like almost squeezed together in comparison to running, because running is something that everyone genuinely can do from pretty much as soon as you have a conscience and know what walking is, you then know how to run. We've all seen babies run. You don't see a baby swim.
Basketball. Take
That's
a look
interesting.
At the
I never thought
Celtics
about
game.
that.
Bob Cousy. This is 32 years
basketball.
before the Dream Team. Which era do you think had better players?
These games are
90s.
32 years
You gotta give it to
apart,
the
same
90s.
distance of
Best
time as the
players,
Dream
you gotta
Team
go
is to
90s
us
and early
today.
2000s.
The difference between a 1960s player and a 1990s player is glaring.
Chat, what's the best NBA era? Jordan, what's the best NBA era? Mr. Beast, what's the best NBA era? I'm saying 1992 to like 2008, maybe 2010. I would say past that, you're done. you're chopped. Like 90s for sure though. Gotta go 90s for sure. Like the whole 90s era with MJ and all of and everyone else is gas. Oh, I mean, you could low-key go like early 80s too with the Bird and Magic and all of them. But like, yeah, definitely not now. Definitely not now.
The difference between a Dream Team player and today is far less significant. Why was there such a stark contrast between the 60s and 90s, but not the 90s and today?
Yo, I think
Many
you're sharing
factors
live,
have
baby.
contributed to this. Population growth, more revenue
Make sure y'all
to
spam
develop
that like
and
button,
attract
baby.
more athletes, and just think of how growth works in general. When you're new to something, you tend to get better in the early stages. Bob Cousy was literally born before the NBA existed.
Damn.
He was born in a period
Damn.
that predated
Damn. That's fucking old, man.
racial integration in basketball. The game didn't have
Holy
the same
smokes.
level of professional seriousness.
What is,
Bob was
bro?
the
This guy looks like he should be a principal at a school. Like, what is he doing playing NBA basketball? I feel like I could go go shit on him now. Like,
highest paid player ever, making $25,000 annually.
I mean, yeah.
His television and
Well, but
radio allowed for more
25K
resources.
back then
and
wasn't
pay.
bad, though, I
Typical
feel
NBA
like.
body type
Right?
exploded into out.
Chat, was 25K back in the 60s like a lot of money? I feel like that would be a lot of money, low key. Was 25? I feel like 25K back then was low key a lot in the 60s. Like that was making bank.
Territory.
If you were 7 feet tall and
Thank you,
born
I don't know,
outside
I
of the
appreciate
US
it.
in 1945,
We're
you
2
probably
followers
wouldn't
away,
have been
baby.
found, at least by the NBA. That changed dramatically over a few decades.
Bro, Jalen Brunson got injured? Hold the fuck up. Jalen Brunson got injured? Jalen Brunson got injured? You're shitting me. You're shitting me, chat. You're actually shitting me, chat. Jalen Brunson got injured. Are you shitting me? You're joking. Nah, because we're actually joking. Oh my god, my parlays are fucked. My parlays are so fucked.
Percentage of 7-footers skyrocketed.
Goddamn parlays.
However, these bigs weren't always coveted.
But that really emerged at the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. And
that's Professor Timothy Olds, who, along with Professor Kevin Norton, published the original paper detailing this big bang of body types.
The general philosophical principle of the golden mean.
In the early 1900s, physical education
Bro,
instructors
I'm bigger than
and
that guy
coaches
now.
believed that the average body type was the best for all athletics.
One tradition of philosophy, going back to Aristotle, if you look at, for example, the balance of the humours, you had to have the right amount of the different humours to be a complete person. Any departure from the norm was seen as an abnormality and therefore in some ways pathological.
Perhaps better than...
So being like strong or actually like having like more definition in one part of your body than another was shown as wrong, as an abnormality? What do you mean? Like, that's insane.
Any sport, the NBA personifies this rapid shift in belief and player talent. And this explains why we see such a contrast from the 1960s to the Dream
bro,
Team.
they wouldn't lift in. They weren't athletic. They literally didn't go to the gym. They didn't run. They didn't exercise. They didn't do shit. They just hopped on the court and balled. Bro, I would run through an NBA athlete in the 60s. I swear to God. Like,
I don't even think Bob would have argued that. Sorry, Bob.
nah,
Kinda
sorry, Bob.
roasting ya.
However, the
Sorry, Bob.
comparison between
I'm
the Dream
sorry,
Team
Bob.
and today, though, is much different. Dozens of comments on my previous
Bro,
video,
Anthony
numerous
Edwards
former
against Bob?
players. There is a large contingent that believes this Dream Team would beat the Avengers of today. It's even got its own Colin Cowherd sample.
It would be grown-ups against the kids, and the Dream Team would roll.
The basketball is so much better now than it's ever been.
It's got its
Yeah.
own serious
No.
schizophrenic
No.
Cowherd
No.
development. It's kind of understandable. The optics just aren't as measurably different here. I mean, they kind of are because these are action figures and it's not real life. But in real life, it's kind of hard to tell. At least on its surface. Because there is a significant difference, we just have to take a step further.
No.
The human limit is not confined to tangible differences. There are strategic and skill advances that push us forward in massive ways. In my last video, I pointed to the fact that there wasn't a single player on today's Team USA who you could leave at 3. On the Dream Team, there were 7. Many commenters dismissed this point, primarily stating that the Dream Team was more physical, fundamental, and that shooting isn't everything, which suggests that the best basketball players and teams existed 32 years ago. We need to clear up this confusion, because once you understand a few key changes, you will hopefully realize this is not even a debate. In fact, many people on both sides are looking at this completely wrong. Schematic evolutions such as shooting more threes now versus posting up, they're more difficult to distill than Bob Cousy versus Magic Johnson.
No, that's
Sorry,
different,
Bob.
though.
So I want
It's
to
not
show
even
you
a matter
few
of,
key changes.
bro, it's not just the fact that they shot more 2s and NBA now shoots more 3s. The basketball players back then were just more efficient, I feel like. And also just, like, way more aggressive. They were actually playing defense back then. You didn't have freaking guys like Shai dropping 35 a night and half the points are fucking free throws. Like, nah, bro. If you were getting buckets in an NBA game in the 90s, you were actually going through hell to get those buckets, I feel like. It was, the tone set was way higher. The competitiveness was way higher. I'm fucking 23, and even I feel like I know this. Like, I don't
It will
know.
hopefully put this to rest. I went back and watched a few of these Dream Team games to break it down. So after you control for the
Travell, what's good,
ridiculous
brother?
amount
Thank you
of
for the
transition
follow.
offense, from my count, Team USA had 91 possessions. 39 of them were transition offense possessions.
Like, bro, exactly. Now someone gets blown on and it's a penalty. Literally. Like, it's not even a question whether someone's getting... Every NBA game now, I feel like, averages at least, 20 to 25 fouls? And that's a lot. That's a freaking lot. After a while, bro. Like, that shit gets old.
What you find is very little movement and very
Yo,
little
Bryce, what's good, brother?
space. There were 19 post-up possessions in this game.
That's about quadruple the NBA average today. Despite scoring 117 points, they only made 5 threes. For comparison purposes, the 2024 Team USA made 18 in their first game.
That's insane.
Why are so many of these guys chucking like they're Steph Curry?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I guess one of them actually is Steph Curry, but what about the rest of them? What about LeBron, Embiid, Davis? Why don't they take their man down to the block like Malone, like Robinson, like Jordan did, like Barkley did? Why are they so soft?
Well,
Literally.
they're softer because they're smarter.
No.
This isn't just my belief. This is math, I will show you. And this revolution started with a rule change, one that benefited the defense. Yes, there was a rule change after the 90s that benefited the defense, one that inadvertently pushed our human limit and created better basketball players.
Before the rule change
That's
in this
crazy.
Dream Team era,
Bryce, what do you think? Bryce, what do you think? You think the 90s USA Dream Team would win, or the USA team for like this era, this decade? I don't know, man. I don't know. I still feel like it'd be 90s. I feel like they're just way more efficient.
Defenses couldn't help like they can today. They had to either double team or stick to their man. Even if it was Dikembe Mutombo out there, they had to respect him. That made it easier for guys like Malone and Jordan to score in post possessions or isolations. There just wasn't as much help defense.
Across the front of the rim, and he's not double teaming anybody. That's it.
Rule change made post-ups in isolations less effective, which is partially why you see less of them today. But more importantly, it revealed something that had been hidden in plain sight.
Just take a look at this possession real quick. I'm going to pause it. Patrick will only receive 2 points for this shot, one step inside the arc. If he had taken one step further back, he would have received 3. He would have received 1.5 times the points for one step back. That is not fair, but that is how basketball works. You get 3 behind the arc, 2 in front of it.
Yeah.
And in today's NBA, players will make an 18-footer, which is about what this ends up being, 40% of the time. That's 0.8 points per possession. They would make a 20.5-footer about 38% of the time. That is 1.14 points per possession. For context,
Okay,
the
he's
difference
kinda
between the
starting to
top
get me a
team,
little
the
bit.
Celtics, is 1.23, and my team, unfortunately, the Blazers, is 1.08. It's not even as big of a difference here.
One common misconception around this is that the
Interesting.
NBA has gotten
Damn.
soft and become more of a selfish jump shooting league. Well, this isn't really accurate. Teams shoot just as many jump shots as they did in the 90s. What has changed is shot selection.
Yeah, the shot
Using
selection's
these numbers
completely
straight from the
different
NBA's website, even if we assumed the Dream Team was just
There's
as good
way
at
more
shooting,
mids.
they'd be playing in a losing way. Per 100 possessions, assuming for NBA averages, it's a difference of about 10 points per game. You can
Honestly,
throw
bro,
MJ's
I mean,
mid-
the fucking problem is Steph Curry became a thing and literally just kind of took control of the way basketball is played. Like, y'all can't even tell. If Steph Curry never showed that you could actually do that in a game and just shoot threes all game and make them, we wouldn't have this. Like, you know, I think it's crazy that NBA teams, dude, they live off the 3 now. Like, even though I will say, like, I'm literally watching the finals right now. My fucking Wemby and Brunson and even Cat all know how to shoot threes. But yet, I would say Wemby's been doing better at taking it to the hole. He really only shoots threes like when he has to.
range in there, it still won't pencil out.
These are the types of strategic advances that push the human limit forward. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's go back to Owens for a second.
Out of the womb, he might have been just as built for the 100-meter as Bolt. How do we know this isn't true for our dreamers in a different way? The Dream Team grew up in an era where there was no development of the 3 because there was no 3. Players are smarter and unobjectively better shooters today, largely due to this discovery, but like all advances that have pushed the human limit, that does not take away anything from previous generations.
Would Pippen, Jordan, Drexler, and even the bigs have been able to develop a 3? It's hard to deny they wouldn't have at least been better. And they would have had coaches telling them, I need you to take a step back.
Oh shit, sorry, y'all.
Not like in a confrontational way, like
I don't know why the thing keeps popping up.
to shoot the 3.
So, where does that leave us? Well, there have been tech advances, strategic shifts, and more athletes playing adequate sports. Less new world records.
Mia, how you
Where's
doing?
this limit? Where do we go from here?
Personally, I find all of this exciting and simultaneously terrifying. The Olympics provide us with this nice benchmark every 4 years, this line in the sand to see how far we've come as a species. And as humans, we will always be pushing up against that line. We will always be pushing the goalpost back. But as technology improves, there's at least one group I do not envy, and that is World Athletic Organization, the folks in charge of deciding what's legal, what's not, what is fair. At least there's some beauty in this. Our bodies are clearly limited, but our minds and spirits don't really seem to be. That is the human condition. That is what fuels progress.
Okay, man. That was kind of fire. I like that. Damn. All right.
Hope
Well,
you enjoyed this video.
That was good.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Take care.
That was peak. That was low-key a peak video. I ain't gonna lie. That was a,
Hello,
what the
friends.
Fuck is
Welcome
this?
back.
Fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Daily Quiz. Shut up. No, that was fire. That was fire. Yeah, man. Like I said, I think there is a lot of different reasons why records aren't broken as much anymore, why basketball is the way it is now. I mean, it is a big compiled compartment of a lot of things, you know, like, unfortunately. Can you give feedback on this one vid on my channel? Mustard Sandwich 95. What's the video? Let me check it out. What's the video? What's your channel? My boy. What's your channel, my boy? Will you drop a follow if I do it? Will you drop a follow if I do it? L ads chat. I look, you gotta pee. Y'all think you'll stick around if I go take a piss real quick?